Welcome to the Backcourt Online. Kendall Gill, Stephen Barlow coming to you with this week's edition. We're going to get into a few things, but let's start with Bulls Central. We see Derrick Rose struggling, Kendall. He looks healthy, but what do you think is the cause for his struggles thus far?
Well, I think the cause is just rust. We all know that he's healthy. We all saw him play in the preseason, did a fabulous job as far as running the team, scoring baskets when he was needed in the preseason. But now the real season comes, it's totally different. And, I think also, Steve, that he needs a little bit more help on the offensive end from his teammates.
That's a great point because we've noticed Paul George guarding Derrick Rose in the fourth quarter. LeBron James did the same thing. Where can the Bulls get help from, or how can they remedy this situation?
Well, I think that we all saw in the win against the Utah Jazz, Luol Deng come out and he almost had a triple-double, coming up 1 assist shy on the assist end. But I think that Luol needs to be consistent, as far as getting into double-figure scoring. Also, I think it can come from Jimmy Butler, Carlos Boozer as well down in the low post. And then those other guys like Joakim Noah, Dunleavy's coming off of the bench. They need to pitch in on the offensive end. If they can do that, then I think that'll be more than enough to help free Derrick Rose up, especially when he's being double-teamed and guarded by those bigger guys.
Can Coach Thibodeau have enough flexibility to get that done, though? Can he adjust the offense to where if Derrick's being double-teamed, can they spread the floor enough where they can hit Luol, they can hit Jimmy Butler, and they can go off the bounce? Is that possible?
Well, I think that's already set up.
Okay.
When we played, you always had to take it upon yourself in order to get the job done.
That's
if somebody else was being double teamed, then the ball goes to the open man. That open man has to do something and do his job, as Coach Thibodeau always says.
Right.
Do your job. And that's something that the Bulls players have not been doing as of yet. But I still have faith in them. I think they can get it done.
Well, let's look at this week's games. Got Cleveland, Toronto, and the Pacers. Can the Bulls get well and get out of this 2-3 start?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, hey, it's still early in the season, okay? Let's not push the panic button just yet.
Right.
I think that the Bulls can break out of this slump. Hey, Derrick Rose is a great player. Joakim Noah is a great player. Let's not forget, Joakim Noah has just now come back.
Right.
He's
nowhere near 100%.
He only played 10 minutes in the preseason, so he's not 100%. Luol Deng is starting to get out of his funk as well. And then I think that Derrick Rose is going to take it upon himself because he's playing against former #1 pick Kyrie Irving of the Cleveland Cavaliers this week. I think that this is a statement game for him. Also, they have an opportunity to get some get back against the Indiana Pacers this week as well.
So we're going to see some Victoria's Secret on the court because it's going to be some broken ankles. It's going to be some crossovers when Kyrie and D Rose hook up. Kendall, let's transition to what we like to call the backcourt press pass. I'm looking at the East,
right,
and the unpredictability of the season so far. If the playoffs were to start today, Philly, Boston, Charlotte, Toronto, and Orlando would be in, and the Knicks and the Nets would be out. Do I need to, if I'm a Knicks and Nets fan, do I need to panic, or is it just early?
I think it's just early. Hey, listen, as far as the Knicks concerned, I'm not so sure. Tyson Chandler just went down this past week with a fractured leg, so they may be in trouble because Tyson Chandler is a big part of what they do. The impending free agency of a Carmelo Anthony. Nobody knows whether he wants to go out and play in LA or stay in New York City. Maybe Lala Anthony has a little bit to do with that, seeing as she's all Hollywood and stuff.
That's
may
true,
want to go
That's
to
true.
LA, you never know. But as far as the Brooklyn Nets are concerned, who I think have the talent and the experience to supersede the Miami Heat in the East, I think it's all about them learning how to play with one another. I mean, you got 2 or 3 Hall of Famers in this lineup. Hall of Famer that's coaching the team, it's his first year. So I think it's just a transition period. And, it's only a matter of time before these guys get themselves together and start putting those victories together.
When you talk about the Nets, who have the highest payroll in the NBA at $120 million.
Oh,
and did you hear that University of Illinois education from Kendall Gill supersede? That's what I'm talking about. So do you think the Knicks and the Nets at the end of the day, at the end of the regular season, will they be in position to be in the playoffs?
I don't think maybe the Knicks will be. I think that the Knicks probably can get to maybe 6th, 7th seed.
Okay.
Or anticipate that the Brooklyn Nets will be at the top of the East 1 or 2.
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
Let's talk about who I think is the hottest player in the NBA right now.
Okay.
It ain't LeBron James.
What?
Paul George is close.
Ooh.
It's Anthony Davis down in New Orleans. Look at this. 32 points, 12 rebounds, 6 blocks versus the Lakers, Kendall. Mm-hmm. He's averaging 23 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 blocks on the year. What has gotten into Anthony Davis?
Well, what's gotten into him is experience. I mean, this guy comes out Kentucky the #1 pick after his freshman year. He's still really a teenager.
Yes,
actually.
he is.
So he gets another year of experience under his belt. Now he sees, hey, listen, I can really play with these guys. I really belong, and I think that's what you're starting to see, his transition from a major college player to a big-time NBA player. I mean, it's all about confidence in this league, both you and I know that this game is almost 80% confidence, and I think that Anthony Davis has that right now.
I think he's also in the weight room, and he's probably got a female friend that might be helping him out a little bit, because that clears your mind from time to time. But with Anthony Davis, I'm really impressed with the consistency that he started the season.
Right.
And one thing that we heard in an interview from Anthony Davis, he wasn't happy about what had just taken place with the Lakers. He said, we've got to bring this every day. That's unusual, isn't it, Kendall, for a guy that young?
It's unusual for a young guy. And then, also I think we have to go back to him getting an all-star point guard to play with. Drew Holiday, the trade from Philadelphia. I think that this is a major development in Anthony Davis's maturity level. I mean, anytime you play with a guy of the caliber of Drew Holiday that can get you the basketball at any time, then I think that's only going to make you better.
Kendall, let's transition over to the backcourt's power rankings.
Okay.
So this,
all right, let's go.
This power ranking for Kendall and I is not who we think is going to win the NBA title or the top 5 teams. It's the top 5 teams who are playing the best right now.
Right.
So I want to clarify that so our viewers will understand. So let's go with you first. Who are your top 5?
Okay, in my top 5. The Indiana Pacers, of course, because of Paul George. Paul George is playing like an MVP right now.
No doubt.
I think the guy's playing lights out. Second team is the San Antonio Spurs. Hey, you can't argue with 6-1. These guys are doing it. I mean, they're just like a blue chip stock. They keep on giving you dividends, baby.
I like that.
Now, OKC Thunder. Russell Westbrook is back, and he came back in a big fashion this week. So that's why I have those guys number 3. Miami Heat, number 4. I can't discount the champion. Hey, those guys, they lost a couple of games this week. Also lost a heartbreaker last night to the Boston Celtics. Jeff Green came up with a Ray Allen type shot from the corner for a 3-point shot to win the game. And this one may surprise you. And you may have this team too. But the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'll take it. Hey, listen. Reason being, Kevin Love is back. Kevin Love is playing great. Let's see if he and Ricky Rubio and the rest of the Minnesota Timberwolves can stay healthy throughout the season.
I promise you, we didn't compare notes.
No, we did not.
So here's my 5, and you're going to be like, yeah, you did. No, we didn't. Indiana, number 1. He said Paul George. I also like Roy Hibbert. And if they can overcome that point guard dilemma, Indiana's going to be tough to beat.
They are.
San Antonio, you said blue chip pays dividends. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
The old heads know how to win.
That's true.
Number 3, I got Miami. I know they've hit some bumps in the road. Dwayne Wade will start juicing pineapple to rest his knees and get some bromelain in. That's a pick for you old cats that need to get relief from your knee pain. Number 4 is OKC. To me, Russell Westbrook is a beast. He's an athletic freak. He's not a point guard. And as long as OKC has him in there, they'll be up and down. And number 5
you coming at him hard, brother.
is Minnesota. I like Minnesota.
Okay.
I love Kevin Love. Whenever he's been healthy, this franchise has done extremely well. They come out of the block strong. Let's hope he stays healthy.
Let's hope he stays healthy. And with the addition of he and Ricky Rubio, this team will be a team to be reckoned with if, like we said, they can stay healthy throughout the season.
And let's do a quick preview of what we think are this week's best games. Starting off, Memphis at Indiana. Who you like?
I like the Indiana Pacers. Like as you said, Paul George, then with the addition of Roy Hibbert, who's campaigning right now, making his own campaign for Defensive Player of the Year. And you know what? He's absolutely right. He's playing great defensively.
Well, you got Grind City in Memphis, baby. I don't know. Their physical style of defense, their point guard position, Mike Conley Jr., I think is much better than Indiana's. He will have something to say about this game. I like Memphis.
You like Memphis in this?
I do. I like Memphis at Indiana.
Hey, I can't. I like Memphis. I like the Grindhouse, but I cannot go against Paul George and Roy Hibbert and the Indiana Pacers right now. I'm riding Pacers on this one, baby.
Okay, all right. Oklahoma City Thunder at the Clippers. Who you like?
Woo, I love me some Russell Westbrook. I love me some Kevin Durant. And I'm riding with the OKC Thunder. As I said before, love Doc Rivers and his addition with the Los Angeles Clippers, but they still don't have any low post scoring what you need against a team like OKC Thunder.
I agree with you. I also think DeAndre Jordan will battle Roy Hibbert for that Defensive Player of the Year.
Could be true.
Doc Rivers has got him in the role that he should be in.
Right.
I agree with you on the Clippers' lack of inside scoring. I love Chris Paul at the point guard position. I still think they're trying to figure out their way.
Right.
I like OKC as well. The last game is San Antonio at probably the surprise in NBA, the Sixers. Who you like? San Antonio, Philly?
That's why. They're still all sizzle and no steak. I don't believe the Philadelphia 76ers are ready for a team like the San Antonio Spurs right now. San Antonio Spurs, too much experience, too much veteran savvy. Hey, Michael Carter Williams has started off great.
Yep.
But let's see what happens when he goes up against the big dogs when they roll into Philly. And San Antonio is one big dog.
All right, I like that. But I also like Philly in this one, and here's why.
Okay.
Youth is bliss.
Oh.
So when you don't know any better, Michael Carter Williams doesn't know any better. He's riding high.
Yeah.
It's the first time around they've seen him.
Yeah.
Now, later on in the season, they'll have film on him, and they'll be able to take his first and second options away. That ain't happening right now. Michael Carter Williams is going to go off.
Okay.
I'm telling you, Evan Turner is mad because he was not extended on his contract, on his rookie
And
contract.
he should be because he's been playing great basketball.
And he's going to continue to play that, and he's going to showcase himself every night. I like Philly at home.
Now it's time for our Twitter post of the week, guys. And Steve, we have a post from a guy by the name of David ENGH. We don't know how to pronounce that, but we have you on the Twitter post of the week anyway. And what I tweeted out earlier this week is that Paul George is a beast. Right now, he's my MVP candidate. And David tweeted back, who has Indiana played? Detroit, Cleveland, Orlando. Let's not get carried away. Steve, what do you think about his post?
I think that he has a right to his opinion, but I agree with you that Paul George is playing as well as anyone in the NBA right now.
Right.
His skill set, his size, and his competitiveness to start the season, I think, make him the best player right now.
Absolutely. And, I think that Game 7 last year when they lost to the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals, Paul George saw that I can go tit for tat with the greatest player in the game today, that being LeBron James. And he came back this season saying, I'm just as good as those guys. I'm going to be the man this year.
So make sure you send in your questions to us at _backcourt. And also check us out on Facebook. Time flies when you're having fun. Unfortunately, our time is up. Please check Kendall and I out next week. And check us out below on the social media links. Also, make sure you go to our website, thebackcourtonline.com. That's going to do it for this week's edition. Until next time, holla!